It can just be delayed. Big money do rely on macro a lot because it changes valuations. It does. It does. But here's the thing. We say big money like we know who that big money is. Here's the thing. Retail has changed the game. 20% of trades now and investing in trades and sells and whatever, derivatives, whatever, are retail now. That changes the game. Retail is leading a lot of charges now because what happens is before there used to be not capitulation, but sell-offs to trim positions or to get ahead of things. And then other firms and big money would try to try to mitigate that downside or get out before the next guy does. And that would cause some mini capitulation that brought the stock down. But now you've got degenerate, retail traders, and the vast majority are not traders. They're just dollar cost average investors who keep buying it. So therefore, what normally would be down and then you try to time it back up, that dip is getting bought up. And so they're selling and then they're watching the stock go back up and they're missing it. So now the likelihood of large firms selling stocks, all right, especially big companies, that there's no reason to now because they're not trying to get ahead of other sells. They're having to take retail into account. And retail, for the vast majority of retail investors, are not selling stocks. They have too much equity in other things. Yeah, there's an all-time high in hardship withdrawals from 401ks, but there's also a doubling of the 401ks now. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a higher percentage of people that are withdrawing 401ks for hardships, but there's also double the amount of people that are in 401ks. So yeah, it's gone from 2% to 4%, but you've got 200 billion to 400 billion or 2 trillion to 4 trillion. It doesn't really matter, right? So it's like, are those people selling their stocks in mass? No. And if they're just continuing to buy, you're going to miss out. So there's no real incentive to sell off because it's not like you're going to sell off before your sell-off causes other sells to get down and then you can come in and take the money and buy up on the dip. That dip doesn't last nearly as long. And so the idea is the money supply into the S&P, the Dow, into the market going to continue? Yes. There's an AI bubble, okay? And it's burst a couple times and gone higher. Why? It's not about the AI trade. The AI trade is just the relevant one now. It's that money just keep flowing in. You need everyone to need money at a point that are in the market to sell their stocks for it to be something where you see a very large drop. Firms may sell. They're going to trim. They're not going to capitulate. They're going to trim because there's no reason for them to sell. There's no like mass exodus that everyone's looking at right now. You see what I mean? Sure, there's dips, there's corrections. There could be a bear market. But you're not going to see this. Everybody keeps talking about this massive explosion. The market's going to crash 70%. Why? The average person nowadays, because 62% of Americans have stocks now as opposed to 45% pre-COVID. The vast majority of that 62% aren't watching their stocks on a day-to-day basis. They don't fucking know. They're not like, oh God, I better sell now. They're just sitting around fucking and then just buys. And when it dips, those fucking $5 billion a day in 401ks and $5 billion a day in CTAs, $5 billion a day in pensions are just picking up and picking up and picking up. And so it's like, until you see the sell side much larger, why would the market completely sell off? Like, people sit around and say, oh my God, the market's going to sell off because people are going to realize. No, they don't. They don't care. They're too busy watching whatever. They're actually happier than we are because they're living their life and they're getting that. They would need to lose their job, which is a concern. They would need to have long-term unemployment. And then they would need to tap the equity in their homes because they've got, 60% of American mortgages are under 4%, right? Golden handcuffs. And their equity's up 20, 30, 40%. So now they can tap that equity before they touch their 401ks. Because you'd rather touch a HELOC than you would take the penalty and the capital gains on your 401k. The collapse will be slow, not fast. That's not a collapse. I've never heard of somebody, oh my God, he had a heart attack and collapsed. It took him, almost a full minute to hit the floor. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like if there's a fucking, nuclear war or an asteroid coming or Trump is assassinated or Netanyahu fucking calls on fucking, carpet bombing of I don't know, like Saudi Arabia, or the EU fucking decides that they're I don't know, that men should act like men again. I don't know. But like there could be, a catalyst out there. I'm not saying there couldn't. But from what we have right now, the problem is that where are people going to put their money right now? You can't put it in cash. You can't put it in a high-yield savings account. You're not going to outpace inflation. Treasuries are barely outpacing, and that's locked up. CDs and CDs ladders. CDs nuts. Not really an opportunity. Crypto is still brand new for a lot of people and too volatile. Plus, the government's fucking consolidating it, so it concerns people. Commodities are hard to judge because it's so much geopolitical shit. So they just put it in the market. And now if so many people have the same idea, they're all putting it in, it just keeps going. If market is so stable because of retail investors, okay, here we go. I love this. Somebody just decides, instead of asking a question, they want to do like a I'm going to get him kind of thing. If the market is so stable because of retail investors, what has been causing so much volatility and big swings? Big companies moving money? A swing is a swing. Stop trying to zoom out, little bro. I'm not talking about this month. Why are you trying to time your 401k with a dip last month? That dip got bought up at a higher rate than any time since the last dip in April of last year. This is the problem. You guys are trying to fucking be that movie where you're timing it and selling the top and buying the bottom. I'm not saying there's not going to be corrections. We just had a correction. We had a bear market last year. You're going to have those. I'm talking about people who want to liquidate. Oh, by the way, all the people who sold in March because of they're about to bottom are all sitting on cash, and if they buy back in, it's fucking 5-10% higher than where they sold because you didn't time the bottom. I am talking about investing. For those of you guys who only hear fucking, on the daily, weekly, and monthly, I'm not talking about you. I am not saying that the market can't go down. I'm not saying we can't have a bear market. I'm not saying we can't have a fucking depression or recession. I'm talking about the sentiment, because the people that are screaming, how is the market all-time high? This doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to make it make sense for them. But it's still well, it can't be that. It must be something else. It's simple supply and demand. This is a commodity. When there is a supply of a commodity and there is a demand for that commodity, and when the demand continues to go up, okay, that the value of that supply will continue to go up with it. If there is a belief that the demand for that supply is going to dip over time, then the value of that supply will go down. Does that make more sense? Nothing to do with Trump or politics or anything like that. I'm explaining to the people who are like yelling that the market it's manipulated, this is just insiders, it's just this it doesn't make any sense. This is where people are putting their money. Remember I told you back in 2022 during the bear market in 2023 that it's like the roaring 20s all over again? Remember we talked about how the stock market crash 1929 happened? It's a similar scenario. It's not a one-to-one because this isn't, it's a global market now, but it's a similar scenario. Okay, it's a similar scenario that's happening right now as far as why the market is going up. Now, there's other markets out there. There's global trade. There's a lot of that stuff. But this is a very similar. Why are we having this convo? Just curious. Because a lot of people really do have a hard time understanding the market. And they go on Reddit, they go on places, and everybody's trying to be an expert on, well, this is why this, and this is a specific reason. And it's not. It's a very simple. It's really a simple thing. You know what I mean? It's yes, there are little variations with expectations of outlooks and capital, inflows and outflows and commodity prices and inflation, stuff like that. But there's dual economies in America, right? There is the haves and have-nots. That's just where we're at. K-shaped recovery, two economies. And the people that are struggling more than ever. But those people are not the ones that have stocks. And the people who do have stocks are doing better on paper, with equities and net worth than they ever have, and they're continuing to buy. So when you see how something affects it, you may say this is going to affect the economy. True, but the market cares about how it affects the people that are exposed to the market. Not just in the U.S., but international. We're having a record amount of money coming in from the international. Everybody said, well, the tariffs are going to do this. The tariff thing was a disaster in a lot of ways, but like it didn't make outside money not invest in us. Like that's not the emotions and money don't mix. Countries, and markets don't care about how crazy this guy is, as long as what he does isn't irreversible, isn't like making the economy uninvestable in 20 years. They're like, yeah, this is stupid, but nobody's going to be like, oh well, we're not going to invest in the U.S. market over the next 20 years because this guy did something mean. Like the markets don't care about that. It is just money is flowing in, and there is a record amount of people in America that are putting it in. International money's coming in. You've got investments. You've got there's nowhere else to put money right now. So people just keep putting it into the market. And this idea that, oh my God, there's going to be, unless there's an actual event that's going to crash the market, where is this crash coming from? Is this crash in the market, in the room with us? Is there going to be corrections? Yes. Are there going to be bear markets? Yes. On average, there's a correction every 1 to 2 years. On average, there's a bear market every 5 to 6 years. We've actually had 2 bear markets in the past 3 years, and we've had 3 or 4 corrections in the past 4 years. So they're picking up a little bit more, but it's also because of the volatility. And people will look at it and say, well, the crash is coming. What crash? What crash? If you're talking about a black swan event where the market actually crashes, then why do you care? You got bigger problems in your 401k, so why are you not investing? Well, I don't want to buy the market now because the market might crash. It's not going to crash. If it does, you ain't got to worry about your retirement. But more importantly, if you're worried about investing in the stock market because there might be a big drawdown, a 25% drop, how old are you? Under 50? Good. You should be begging for it. The idea that anybody would not want to invest in the market because we might be at a top is the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. Because if I could tell you right now, guys, you can go back to 2008 and start buying at the top of 2008. You can't avoid it. You're going to buy at the top of 2008. But I'm going to give you 5 fucking years of buying the market down 40%. What would you tell me? Would you turn that down? Now, the rule is you have to go put your first initial investment into the S&P 500 in 2008. You can't get out of that. You've got to buy the top. But then I'm going to let you dollar cost average the entire 5 years down 40%. What are people scared of? Well, one day the market's going to go down and never come back up. And you don't have to worry about your 401k anymore anyways. The reason I talk about this is for the younger people out there, or anybody who wants to get into investing but hears all the noise out there. Listening to the noise is why you lose money in, or don't invest money, or don't make money. All the people back in April of last year, oh my God, the tariffs, the ports are empty. No, they're not fucking empty. They're down significantly, not empty. The store shelves are going to be empty. You are actually brain dead. We don't get any of our fucking food from China. What are you talking about, store shelves? You should be fucking publicly shamed. It's insane that people said that. But like, yes, the market went down. Yes, the tariff thing was stupid. But why would you not buy that dip? What in God's name made you think that the S&P 500 and the U.S. stock market was uninvestable 20 years down the road because of some tariff shit? Well, because people aren't going to take America serious and they're going to be mad about this. Nobody gives a shit when it comes to money. Nobody cares about who's feeling when it comes to investing and making money. That's not how the emotions and money don't mix. So we bought that dip incredibly hard and it came back up. And then we had the dip this past month and a half, right, with Iran. We knew that we said it over and over and over again. We don't know how long this is going to last, but we're going to buy the dip all the way down. Why? Because once there is a belief that the escalation has stopped, we've plateaued, or there's de-escalation, this market is going to, and I quote what we said a million times, violently rebound. Because money is on the sides, valuations are down, there's nowhere else for people to put their money. You can't keep it in cash. You're losing value every day. Savings accounts, not anywhere near a high yield savings account. CDs and treasuries, barely outpacing inflation. Commodities are too manipulated, okay? And crypto is too volatile. They're putting it in the market. Bro, you need money to buy the dip. I'm broke as shit. Then I'm not talking to you. And I'm not talking about people that have to put their fucking entire life savings. I'm talking to the 18-year-old or 19-year-old that's working at fucking Petco right now who has a couple extra bucks left over and has an employee stock program or has a 401k or an IRA, Roth IRA, and is putting $5 a week in or $4 a day. That's who I'm talking to, because they're going to think they can't invest. And so they're not going to invest because they're like, well, $4 doesn't mean shit, so why bother? And they're going to go on, and in 10, 15 years down the road, they're going to realize, oh my God, if I had just started then, how much would I have? And they're the ones that are going to be like, oh, okay, well, I can do that. Cool. But yeah, but what if the market, who cares? No one loses more money in the stock market than people who short it. And then number two, people who try to time it. The amount of people who sold on the way down last month who are now 10% higher than where they sold and are freaking the fuck out and complaining online, oh my God, this doesn't make any sense. The market shouldn't be up. Blah, blah. I'm sorry you missed out. I'm sorry you missed out. Maybe you shouldn't try to time it. There's nobody that bought the dip last year or last month who's sitting there complaining about the market right now. And this isn't like some kind of like, hey, oh my God, perma bull, oh my God, always buy, the market heater forever. It just has. It has always gone back up since its inception. One day it will go down and not come back up, but you got bigger things to worry about till then.